Hi everyone, my name is Jen and this is BHOP Plants, where I talk about all things houseplants and home design. Welcome back. So today I want to do a little bit more of a chattier video. I do have a lot of cuttings here that are long overdue to be potted up, so I'll do that while we talk. But I just want to spend some time to talk a little bit about this channel, where I think it's going, what my thoughts are on plants currently, and my plans for the future. So if that sounds like your vibe, I hope you keep on watching. If not, still subscribe anyways, because I've been posting twice a week currently on this channel, so I'm sure there's something else for you here as well. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, so the very first plant I'm gonna pot up is this philodendron Hericium, or heart-shaped philodendron. There's also a strand of philodendron Rio in here, so I'm going to separate that out. I do have another container that has Rios, so I'm going to combine that strand with the other pot of Rio I have. Ooh, this is like a little bit of a rotted root, so let's make sure we get rid of that before we plant the plant. Okay, so I think the first thing we should talk about is this channel. So if you might have noticed that I've been a little bit inactive on this channel for the past month. Since I started BHOP Plants back in December, I've uploaded pretty much every single week, at least once, if not more than once. I'm gonna be putting this cutting into some LECA, and I feel like I just kind of burnt myself out a little bit. So at first I took some time off just to kind of like figure out kind of like creatively what I wanted to do, but then I felt like I got kind of confused about what I wanted the future of this channel to be, because to be honest, I feel like a lot of my channel was just me unboxing plants, right? Like if you look at my stats on what does well in this channel, it's unboxing videos and plant hauls. And there was a point where I was doing an unboxing pretty much every single week, and I realized that that's just not sustainable for me in like financial sense, but also in the sense of like it stopped bringing me happiness to just be buying so many plants so rapidly. Although I love like plants and I loved all the plants that I bought, I do think that there is a difference in loving a plant and loving the way that plant looks like on Instagram, and then also enjoy growing it in your home. Because especially since, you know, quarantining since late February, early March, I've kind of realized that like I don't like fussy plants. Like I don't like to take care of plants that have to be at 80% humidity or need to be like constantly watered or etc, or like has to have like 100% filtered water or distilled water, else they're gonna like immediately crisp up. It's just really like not that fun for me to spend so much time and energy into taking care of those plants, and I think that's perfectly fine. Like I think you can absolutely love plants and just have like 15 pothos, you know, like that doesn't make you any less of a quote-unquote plant parent. But to go back to my other thought, I was a little bit confused about where I wanted this channel to go, because I didn't want to just unbox plants, and that was like such a big part of my channel that if I took that away, I didn't really know what else to do. And I also just felt like I wasn't qualified to give plant care tips because I consider myself like such a newbie. I've only done one plant care tip ever, and that was for the variegated string of hearts, but that was only because I felt like very confident in my ability to take care of that plant. And a lot of the other plants I have, especially like rarer plants, I haven't had for that long, so I didn't feel qualified to give plant tips for. But I think something that I've kind of learned just from like people DMing me is that people are still coming into this hobby, and like, yes, I am I am newer to owning plants and taking care of the plants, but there are people who have found like plant parenthood or have found like taking care of plants as a hobby after me, and I can impart, you know, the wisdom that I have learned in the past year or so. And so I think that I'm going to start making more educational content, not necessarily like PBS educational content, but I'm thinking of maybe doing like a series, like a back to beginners series that I think could be really, really helpful for a lot of people that are now just like figuring out and the plant world and the whole plant landscape. I do have some videos like the best place to buy rare plants, how to navigate Facebook Marketplace, or like plant Facebook groups. I do have like a trading 101 video, so I'll link all those videos in the description below. But I want to do like more basic than that, like how do you pick which plant to buy, like watering 101, etc. So if that's something that you are interested in, let me know. And then another thing that's been going on with me is that I have decided to go freelance full time. So I have been technically freelance for a while now, but it was more on like the jobs as they come to me basis rather than like me actively seeking out work. But as of a month ago, I am full-time freelance. I am a freelance graphic designer / illustrator. I do a lot of branding work. Maybe I'll put up some logos right now for you to see. So if you need a logo, let me know. Hit me up. But yeah, so I've been dedicating a lot of my time to setting up that, like setting up like the business entities and like redoing my website, etc., etc. And so I feel like I've taken a lot of time to do that, and so I just haven't really had time to film plant videos doing it. So I've officially freelanced for a month now. I'm working on a fill illustration project and a logo project currently for a restaurant in Florida. So that's really, really exciting. And all of that is to also say that I have made a second channel. So this channel is, you know, has always been dedicated to houseplants. But I did try to put up 1 or 2 vlogs, which never really felt like they fit with the vibe of this channel, and also like views wise, like, you know, like they never reached the same amount of traction that my plant video did, which makes sense because obviously if you're subscribed to this channel you want plant content. But I'm making a second channel. That channel is going to be dedicated to like my job, so it's gonna be dedicated more to like graphic design for branding, but also for vlogs. So if you like watching vlogs, you know, subscribe to my second channel. I'll put the link in the description box and I'll put a card up here. There should already be 2 videos up. The first one is me cutting my hair, which I guess we haven't talked about yet. Had a little bit of an identity crisis and I chopped off 12 inches of my hair impulsively, but I actually really, really like it. I think it actually looks really cute. And then I also have a vlog up of me painting the arch in my bedroom, which I already posted on my Instagram, but I did vlog that process, so now it is also on that YouTube channel. But yeah, so I'm really excited about just like the wider variety of content that I'm able to make on that channel, just because I dedicated this channel solely to houseplants. I felt like I could never talk about anything else. So I'm excited to be able to expand like the content that I make and to talk about more things. Ooh, there's a little bit of root rot. That is not good. Okay, that is really, really not good. Oh no. Okay, so this is a mason jar full of watermelon peperomias, but I see some root rot. So I'm actually just going to put it back, and I have to take this to the sink to wash it before I plant this up. So I'm just going to set that aside for now. Okay. What else can I do? I have this mason jar full of Monstera Addisonii. This was a gift from Sack Plant Daddy or Broderick. I'll link his plant Instagram down below. He's actually moving, so he's not going to be in Sack anymore. But woo, look at these roots. Look at that. Like, this was ready like months ago, but I've been procrastinating potting up all my plants. I'm going to try to put this plant in LECA, but also on a moss pole. Okay, so put some LECA in here. This is the moss pole. Okay, so something else I want to talk about is the concept of falling out of love with plants, or am I falling out of love with plants? Probably like a month ago at this point, I put up a question box on Instagram asking you guys what videos you wanted to see from me on this channel, and someone asked me what they should do if they are falling out of love with a plant or falling out of love with plants in general. And that question definitely resonated with me because that's exactly how I felt at the beginning of quarantine. I felt like with just like everything that was going on with the world, I felt so overwhelmed that taking care of plants was like genuinely the last thing on my mind, and I neglected my plants so much, right? And I feel like it kind of goes back with my whole existential crisis about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to do on this plant channel, because I was no longer feeling joy from buying plants. And I think my advice for if you fall out of love with a plant is to recognize that there is a difference between having a plant or liking a plant and liking how it looks and enjoy growing it. So if you are no longer enjoying growing a plant, you should either A, try to sell it or give it away. And that's what I did at the beginning of March, I think. I sold a lot of my plants at like extremely accessible rates, just like for like people here locally in Sacramento. I did like a porch pickup, and I think that was a great way of handling it because although like those are the plants that I no longer necessarily wanted to take care of, there are definitely people who would love to take care of that plant and would love to own a plant. I sold some like kind of rare plants. I sold a cutting of my philodendron burgundy princess for a incredibly accessible rate, and I just think that's a good way of going about it because, you know, like I feel like lately plants have just been getting ridiculously overpriced just because of the demand, because, you know, like the demand of plants will always be more than the rate in which they grow and in which like plant growers and plant suppliers can grow them. And I just feel like it sucks for like people who are just now entering the plant community to, you know, like not have access to some of these plants that maybe like a year ago I was paying like $30 for a Syngonium albo, and now it's completely overpriced, and now it's like, I think I saw one for like $80 the other day, and that's really ridiculous. So yeah, I would recommend that if you feel like you are falling out of love with plants in general or a single plant, to get rid of it, sell it, give it away, do a trade, etc. And that's totally fine and totally normal. So yeah, I think I want to do another video on like buying plants and how I feel like how like my views on buying plants has changed and how I feel like a better way of going about buying plants would be, but I still need to think more on that. Don't really have my thoughts well developed yet, so I'll get back to you on that. Okay, I'm trying to wrap this Monstera Addisonii around this moss pole. Ooh. I'm trying to go in like a spirally pattern to make it look fuller because there's only like three like strands. I don't know if that's working. Okay, should I go the same way or should I go the opposite way? Ooh, I don't know. Okay, and what I'm using to adhere it is I'm using some aluminum craft wire. This is just extra from when I made, you can't see it, but I made a sign that says Bees House of Plants up there. And I ran out of plant Velcro one day, so I decided just to use this kind of like in the moment. But I actually really like it, and I think it holds the plant really, really well. But it holds it like also like really loosely, so I think that's actually really good. So I actually really, really like this method. Okay, that's not too bad. Definitely not too bad. Okay, that's not awful. I don't hate that. Right? And I feel like once this kind of grows more, I think I'm going to keep wrapping it and to go down. I think that's what Craig Milren does with his plants. He's like the king of totem poles. If you haven't checked out his Instagram, I highly recommend it. But basically, I think he just like grows his plants up and then he bends them down and have them grow down the pole, and that's how they get like so nice and full and bushy. So I think, okay, so my video cut off, so I think that means that I've been blabbing on for way too long. But before it cut off, I was saying that I'm gonna put this plant in the shower and really hose down the pole so that the pole gets soaking wet. I've actually got a lot of questions lately on how to keep moss poles wet, and what I do is, first of all, if you are going to put a moss pole into LECA, don't do what I just did. You should make sure that your moss starts underneath the LECA level. I didn't want to make another moss pole, and this moss pole was made for a 6-inch pot. But the reason why you should start underneath the LECA level is that because LECA wicks water upwards, it'll actually start wicking the water up the moss pole as well. That's a really good trick. I might actually put this plant into a 6-inch pot so that I can do that. Okay, but if you are using soil, then don't put the moss underneath the soil line, because then it can start to hold on to too much water underneath your soil. Otherwise, what I do is once a week I put all my plants in the shower, and that's how I water them, so it gets the moss pole thoroughly soaked. And if I feel like it really needs, like it's way too dry, I'll mist it occasionally, but I'm not huge into misting, so sometimes I just let it dry out until the next week when I put it back in the shower. Okay, I've definitely been talking for way too long. If you are still here and you made it all the way through my rambly video, thank you for being here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.